everybody, and welcome to the Fortress of Comic News, episode 64. I am one of your hosts, Chris.
I am Mike, the second host, that contributes about 22% to this podcast. I did the math. That's how it works out. Really quick, I actually knew the number of the podcast this week before you said it, because before I was on my way out of work to get here and set up for the show, and just kidding, I don't actually. What do I got to set up for the show? You're the one that does all the notes and stuff. Chris is like, he's a liar, you filthy liar.
Well, I mean, you plugged in your mic, right?
Yeah, dude.
There, you set up.
I was actually on my way out, and one of the guys at work, he just subscribed to the podcast too. So there we go. But he had drawn this little like cartoon character of one of the guys that he works with in the department. He's like this older guy, and he's just known for being like an asshole, but not like, I mean, he embraces it though. Like, he's always grumpy, and it's like funny. It's a funny grumpy though. Like, you know, it's not sincere all the time. And he drew this cartoon of him. He's like, can you tell who this is? And it had like mustaches and glasses. And I'm like, yeah, I can tell who that is. And I was like, have you ever drawn like other stuff, like comics and stuff? And he goes, I do some charcoal. And then he's like, yeah, I kind of follow Seth MacFarlane, if you know who that is. And I was like, oh, I'm not Seth MacFarlane. I'm sorry. Wow, completely messed it up. Todd McFarlane. He's like, I follow Todd McFarlane. And I'm like, oh yeah, like Spider-Man. And then Spot. He's like, yeah, more Spot. And I'm like, hell yeah. So we started talking about comic book art. And yeah, he's an artist, but it was cool. We were talking about comics. It's always fun to find people that are into that stuff. And then he subscribed to the podcast. So yeah.
Mike's coworker, if you're listening,
thanks.
Get to our Patreon.
No. That's real subtle. Anyways, I think it's been a couple weeks since I've been on the show. Chris did an interview without me. He did fantastic, by the way. Good job, Chris.
Thank you.
There's been a lot going on. My background right now, if you can't see, if you're listening on iTunes, is some palm trees, because I just got back from Florida. A little bit of work, a little bit of play. I did do a lot of comic book shopping in Florida. I found this cool place that is like half a tattoo parlor and half a comic shop. And the problem with these types of places, like, yeah, it was like a new comic shop, but you could tell that like they had a comic guy there, that he was the comic guy, and then they had all the tattoo people there. And when I was there was no comic people, so I was like asking about back issues, and they were like, they had no idea what I was talking about. But you can always tell that they're not putting all their heart into the comic books side of it. They're like, oh, here's recommended issues, and just a whole wall of like Marvel. It was really like weighted towards Marvel comics. Actually, a few of the shops I went to is really weighted towards Marvel, which is interesting because like I've never been in a Florida comic book shop, but now that I think about it, like the two that I went to were really Marvel heavy, and it could just be a coincidence. I mean, Marvel's really popular, but I don't know. It could be the area.
I love the idea that the whole recommended section is just the Marvel section, and it's like, we recommend you not read DC.
Yeah, not read anything.
Recommend.
It was like staff picks, and it was like all of the Marvel origin stuff. Yeah, it was pretty funny. And then I went to this other shop where I found a bunch of Invincible back issues, and that guy was like, I mean, he was in his late 40s, but you could tell he was trapped like in his 14-year-old self in the 80s. Like, he was listening to hair metal. He had long hair. He had these like crazy like parachute pants on, and he was like blowing and like snapping bubblegum like he was a teenager, and he was just like talking to me about comics, and like, this is what I'm looking for. That it was awesome. It was a really cool experience. And again, he was like, as I'm cashing out, he's like chewing his gum, like, you like Marvel? And I'm like, yeah, they're not bad. And he like handed me one of the preview inserts for Marvel, and I acted like I didn't know it. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool, thanks. I wasn't going to be like, well, to tell you the truth, I honestly get one of these every month, and I'm pretty well versed in the comic book goings of odds of things. I didn't get that whole thing with him, but I
You should have handed him. Cool. You should have handed him a business card and be like, "Motherfucker, I am comics."
I've been in it. I know it. I know the shit. Anyways, one more quick thing. I did make a Twitter account for anyone who cares. And you gotta stay till the end of the show to find out what it is. Oh snap! What a twist. Yeah, that's all I got going on in my life. What's up? Anything interesting you got to tell me about?
Not really. Work. Is
that a whiteboard in the background that says the episode number?
It does, and I drew Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
Wow, that's actually, I can tell it's Rocco. That's pretty good. Yeah. So for anyone who isn't getting a visual, Chris has a whiteboard now behind him with Rocco, and it says Forge's episode LXIV, which is 64 in Roman numerals. If you didn't know that, then you should have paid attention to school. Duh.
Yeah, I definitely didn't look that up on the internet.
Yeah, I was going to Google it after this. Make sure. All right, let's start talking about some stuff. Walking Dead, we're at 3 episodes in. The last couple episodes, it's starting to pick up. The whole idea that we got last episode is pretty cool, that the Negan's thinking about coating the weapons with all the zombie blood, so even if you get nicked by a bullet or like hit by something, you're gonna turn and die anyways, which is
taken straight from the comics.
Yeah. And it's hard for me to believe that, like, even if you get shot in the arm or the leg, there's no, like, actual medical staff on hand. So it's like, I mean, if they're not good enough to hit them, like, to the chance where they're severely injuring people, then I don't think they're going to be able to hit them with zombie cover. I don't know. It's like the Stormtrooper rule, I guess. No matter how dangerous you make their weapons, they're still going to be missing people. But
I don't know. The whole like side story with I forget his name now, but the priest who's going blind was kind of weird.
Gabriel.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, and like I don't know, it seemed like just spinning tires, because why did they go through all the effort of saving that doctor just to kill him like 2 episodes later? Yeah, just to kill him. It was really. I was like, there's no way they're gonna kill him. We just spent 30 minutes with this guy, and then there they go. They killed him. So. I don't know what's happening with the show. There's some parts that like it. I don't know. The editing too was like, you probably noticed this. I mean, you edit the videos and stuff. You edit the stuff, the things. Yeah.
Yeah, I do edit it.
I might have taken a college course or two.
Yeah. When I go to the bars, I tell girls, I'm like, my friend edits. He's an editor.
He has a pretty sick Doctor Strange shirt. You should check it out.
Oh, that is actually a reference to like 20 episodes ago. So you got to listen to all the episodes. Where was I? Oh yeah, the whole editing. I don't know. The way they started off was either the second or third episode where they like showed their names, and then it went through like, I guess, how they reacted or dealt with Carl dying. Yeah. Some of them, like, they went to Edith, and there was no resolve in that. In that segue, like she doesn't find out that Carl died to the end of the episode, but they like in the middle of the episode they're like Edith, and then it just shows what she's been doing, and it's like, so what was the whole? Like, I feel like we're supposed to sense a pattern with the way they did that setup, and I didn't see a pattern. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but
yeah, I don't care for that method.
Yeah, like personally. I don't know if it was the director of that episode or something, but it's like, you don't need we haven't had to do this for 8 seasons. You don't need to start doing this.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know, it's really weird when it happens. But, we had the moment with Gabriel, and then the trash people, I don't even know what they're called. Names are hard. But the trash people, and they're all dead.
Yeah, I'm so glad they're all gone. Well,
and now I'm seeing, like, everyone thinks that woman's going to become the alpha from the Whispers, which I really hope she doesn't. I don't care for her. Yeah,
I don't know. She just, like, doesn't know how to do the acting thing.
She's got weird hair, and I'm not all about that.
I don't know how it makes me feel, so please don't. Yeah, she does have weird hair. She almost has like the same haircut as No Country for Old Men.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it Benicio del Toro? Yeah, that bell shape hair. Yeah, same haircut. They were like, someone was like a really big fan of the Coen brothers. It was like, you're gonna get this hair. There you go.
So overall, I thought the last episode was a down for me. I don't know. This half of the season's been kind of down altogether. Like the whole Carl death was a little weird, and I thought they stayed on it for too long. And now we're like 3 episodes into like, we get it. Carl's dead. Like it's a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but like we get it. Can we move on? Like,
we understand. Could you please?
I really hope that they move on and decide to like actually get back to the Negan fight and don't try to push this into another season. So I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah, like they're starting to stretch it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see where it goes. For Flash, I'm actually... It's the only CW show I'm watching right now. It's the only thing I have time for.
Same here.
I haven't watched this week's episode. I heard a brief summary of what goes on. Last week's episode, though, with the whole Flash time thing, that was really cool. I liked that.
It was a cool way to frame an episode.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool. So basically, there's a warhead going off, and Flash only has a certain amount of time in the Speed Force because he's going really fast, and everybody else is like not moving to him. So he has like conveniently an episode's worth of time to to go and like unfreeze people for like a little bit. And they weren't too like comic book science with it. I mean, like he couldn't hold people in the Speed Force with him too long because they weren't trained enough. They weren't used to the Speed Force. And the same thing went for the newer speedsters and Jay Garrick too. Like it kind of played on the fact that Barry is the most in tune with the Speed Force right now.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
The most recent episode, I did get a chance to watch, and it is mine and yours worst nightmare come true.
Yeah, I heard Iris gets the Speed Force.
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it. Sorry, but there's a meta whose ability is to transfer abilities from one person to another.
Oh man!
And that's how like that happens. And it's a whole bunch of Iris, and it's a whole bunch of the We Are the Flash crap. And,
oh man!
And it literally like the entire episode, I was just cringing. It was literally everything that I don't like about the show in one episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we're alone on that or not. Maybe we are. Maybe we
don't know.
But I don't like this whole We Are the Flash thing. Like, no, Barry's the Flash. You're just helping him out. Like, I
get it. Really have this, Flash, like, I don't know. She starts talking to him about like differential equations and physics and particle stuff, and I'm like, you were just a journalist. I mean,
but in the end, too, they do get back to. Because she has the choice to give the speed back. And Barry, being Barry, is just like, I'm not going to force you to. If you want to, you can keep it. And whatever. Whatever. And obviously, Flash gets speed back. And when he asks her why, like, why'd you do it? I wasn't going to force you to. And she says, well, you were born to be the Flash. This is your destiny, blah, blah. And this is mine. She goes back to her little, like, Saved by the Flash blog or whatever she does.
Really?
So I'm hoping she like kind of does that more now.
Yes. Maybe they heard the fans like screaming about it. I hope so.
They're listening to our show.
Yeah, they've been listening. Jessica Jones. I'm only on episode 2. Okay. Where are you?
I'm done with it.
Oh, you're done with it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and watch all of it.
I had the luckiest situation where the family was out of the house and it was just me.
Yeah,
I did nothing but watch Jessica Jones for the entire day.
Usually, I always have those weekends, but I don't know. Everything's been getting real busy. Yeah, so not bad so far. Just to talk about the first episode and a half, the Wizard. I mean, come on, man! It's cool to be a shitty villain now. Is like I like to think we started that trend, though. I mean, if it dates back, if a Wikipedia article pops up that says like shitty villains, like it started here. Like we're bringing it back.
I'm saying this now. We don't talk about it much because I don't know. I'm not as interested in it, but they're doing that Titan show and they're casting the Doom Patrol. I'm just saying, if Codpiece shows up, I want my cut. I want my check.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Because we made Codpiece cool again.
Yeah, Codpiece. Nobody even knew about Codpiece, okay? Anyways. Yeah, so the first episode and a half, the Wizard shows up.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. The first episode is good. The second episode, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, there's some characters I just really don't give a shit about. And yeah, I mean it's Jessica Jones part 2. That's all I can really say about it so far. You could probably give an overall feeling of it.
Without spoiling it too much, I really, really love it. It's how to do an origin story properly because they really go deep into her origin story, and it ties into events that are happening now. I had so much fun with it. I really enjoyed the first season of Jessica Jones. I love how they brought Kilgrave back in a way. That's not a spoiler. He's been in so much of the promo art and stuff.
What? He's back?
Yeah.
Relevant villain?
And the villain's really cool too. So I really, really enjoyed it, and some of the stuff they set up for season 3, or possible to be in Luke Cage or whatever in the future, is really good. I highly recommend Jessica Jones. If you're not watching any of the Netflix stuff, I think Jessica Jones isn't as good as Daredevil in my opinion, but it's still really, really good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure within the next couple of weeks I'll be trying to finish it up. Luke Cage got announced for season 2, and it's already announced, but it's coming June 22nd, day after my birthday. So thanks for that, Marvel.
Happy birthday to Mike.
Yep. I went and saw Black Panther last weekend, and I thought it was good. I want to talk about one plot hole. I would give it like maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Same, it was like copy paste filter from the last Thor, the newest Thor. Like the same type of music and stuff, or not music, but like color palette, I guess. Mm-hmm. There's the part in the movie where, this is spoilers for Black Panther. I mean, it's been out for a while now, so where they think Black Panther's dead, he fell off the cliff, and then they go to the other tribe, and the tribe immediately after saying, "Oh, hey, we're what do they say? We're vegetarians," is what they say. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "Oh, we found Black Panther because one of our fishermen grabbed him." I was like, huh. Yes, I know, and I know like vegetarians could be, I eat fish, but like you're up in the mountains, right? And you're eating like vegetables. I don't know. It was just kind of like, man, didn't think that one. But yeah, other than that, it was good. Michael B. Jordan, I thought was Michael B. Jordan. He's kind of, I guess I didn't know about this villain beforehand, so I don't really have any like picture for him, but he wasn't bad. I thought his motivation was pretty cool. Yeah, I liked it. I also watched The Foreigner with Jackie Chan. I don't think I've talked about it here yet, but man, let me tell you, that movie, Pierce Brosnan, Jackie Chan, dude, it was really good.
Pierce Brosnan's in that movie?
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's in it, yeah. Yeah, full-blown Irish accent, too. It's great. He's in it, and basically Jackie Chan loses his daughter in the beginning of the movie. I mean, with his escape from, I it was in China, but he escapes from China early on with his family and ends up losing two of his daughters and wife, and has one daughter left, and that's all he has left in the world. And she dies to a terrorist bombing in the beginning of the movie, and he kind of like keeps hounding the government about it of England, and kind of like the government's really corrupt, so they're not really helping him out. So he basically just kills everyone. It's kind of like Taken, but there's nobody for him to take. he's just kind of taking revenge. There's no one for him to save, so he kind of really doesn't give a shit. But it's like awesome to see like 60-year-old Jackie Chan still doing all the Jackie Chan stuff, and he's just an old pissed off man. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. Yeah, so I highly recommend it. I mean, I grew up watching all the Jackie Chan movies on VHS, so it was like very nostalgic for me. And I give it easily a 9 out of 10 because, man, it was great. Other than that, I haven't really seen many movies. Still watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. Episode 3 came out. And I don't know if I talked about episode 2, but episode 2 takes place in a sperm donor laboratory.
Jeez.
So you could just imagine one of the Deadites takes over one of the nurses there and there's a fight scene with Ash in a testing lab full of semen. HBO is really just like not HBO, I'm sorry, Stars is just not holding back at all. No punches being pulled. It was like, wow, there's really no line they can't cross.
I just remembered I watched a movie recently too.
What did you watch?
I watched the new Pokemon movie, I Choose You.
Oh man. Wow, is it a love story?
Yes, between a young boy and his electric rat.
Oh, great.
It was really good. It was a lot of fun, and I watched it with the kids, and the kids really enjoyed it. If you're a Pokemon fan, you'll like it. And it's kind of cool because they're starting like an alternate path where the TV show is going one way now, and these movies are going another way. And they already announced the sequel to this, so there's going to be like a whole nother set of... I'm zoning on the word right now, but it's going to be a whole different timeline as to what happened. And it's kind of neat to see like different alternate dimension kind of thing going on with Pokemon.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I think the next movie for me is probably going to be is it Deadpool? Yeah. We didn't. We got to talk about. Did you see the new Fantastic Beasts trailer?
No, I'm not a Harry Potter nerd like you are.
Well, I'm not really I'm not so much into these movies. All right, relax, okay? Slow down here. The new trailer, though, I didn't really care for the first Fantastic Beasts. The second one, though, we go back to Hogwarts for part of it, and Jude Law is playing young. I wanted to say Gandalf, young Dumbledore, and. It looks good. And then we got to see a quick screenshot of like Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, and he's like got a beard and like crazy hair, and he looks awesome. So it looks pretty neat.
No, those were movies that like I read the books as they came out because I was that age, and I fell off after like I forget. I think it was Goblet of Fire was the last one I read.
Yeah,
and then I started watching the movies, and I think it was the same transition. It was right before Goblet of Fire where I stopped watching them.
Oh, okay.
So I have nothing against them. I suck to pick on you, but maybe someday I'll watch them all.
One day, it's fun to do the marathon, and they're really good quality movies too for what they are. I mean, as much like how vocal people are about the DC and the Marvel movies, like that's just as big of a fan base, and they I think most of the people were pleased coming out of those movies.
I'm actually shocked now that I think about it that they've never done comic adaptations of those.
Yeah, I think it's really tough though. I mean, with the let me put it this way. Harry Potter it's not a difficult book to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about this when I used to read Harry Potter. It was almost as good as a comic for me, because everything, the way J.K. Rowling wrote was very, there's a lot of imagery. So a lot of it, you could almost picture the rooms at Hogwarts without actually seeing the movie, as to where, like, I don't know, maybe some Stephen King books, it's a lot of explanation, and I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to visualize things, but I feel like you would need to draw a lot of it, and that's not the easiest thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, almost out of the like 800 pages, I don't know how long the longest Harry Potter book was, but you like almost every other page you need to draw something spectacular, I feel like, for everyone to get the idea of what's going on. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like people would buy them, though, if they did that.
Oh, I probably would check it out at least.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so that's a thing that's happening. We actually have another piece of movie news for Wonder Woman 2, so it must be like confirmed now that we're getting a Wonder Woman 2 officially. It hasn't been canned yet. Is Kristen Wiig is going to be playing Cheetah, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty ingenious casting, at least from just how she looks. Like, I think she fits the role really well.
Oh yeah, it's like copy paste out of the comic book.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've seen her a few things. I've seen her mostly in comedy stuff. So I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she'll be great. I mean, Patty Jenkins isn't going to fuck this up. I mean,
yeah. Patty Jenkins, your only hope. Let's get into the comic news, huh? So this is Tony Stark news. Iron Man is coming from Dan Slott and Valerio Schiti. Man, did not give me an easy name there.
No, there's a lot of not easy names in here.
This is gonna be great. I'm doing this live, people. So
yeah, we got more Marvel Fresh Start stuff. Dan Slott taking over Iron Man. I gotta be honest with you. Never been a big fan of Iron Man. Dan Slott, I can take it or leave, so I don't think I'll be checking this one out.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I will either. Surprise. Definitely not this one. The Sentry coming from Jeff Lemire and Kim Jacinto. We'll cover both of those in case it's one or the other.
Yeah, I will be checking this one out because I will check out anything that has Jeff Lemire's name on it. And I also want to check it out strictly for the props that Jeff Lemire has now found a way to make a Fantastic Four book at DC and a Superman book at Marvel.
Superman book at Marvel.
Sentry is basically Marvel's Superman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, interesting. Huh. That was my Larry David impersonation.
Huh.
I wish I had like a brass orchestra to play behind me, like those really sad horns throughout my life. I feel like it would be so fitting for a lot of conversations I have in my life. I
feel like, just, to keep this segment going, every time I pulled the Larry David line, I can't remember it now. This dead air is great. Remember the line he always does? He says the same word over and over again. God damn it!
Oh yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue too.
There's tons of people just yelling at their iPod right now.
Yeah, but then he always does the thing where he stares in people's eyes and they play like the flute music.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's gonna piss me off.
Yeah, we could edit all this out.
Yeah, we probably won't though. Go.
It's fine. You can just get rid of all of it. Well, we'll continue with this stuff. I'm going to think of it while we're doing this because we do have comic book news, it's always good. I want to get to this part of the news because I'm excited. Not this part, but the one after. Deadpool is coming from Scotty Young and Nov Klein. Why? What is? These aren't names.
Marvel's just hiring people with names. So it's well known and documented in this podcast of how much I don't like Deadpool. That being said, I have tried the past couple Deadpool books because I enjoy the writers. I will try this one because I adore Scotty Young.
Ooh, he loves Scotty Young. Scotty Young gonna be drawing any of it? I feel like he should be.
I don't think so because he is still doing I Hate Fairyland. Oh, and okay. I also it'd be cool to see Scotty Young do covers for the book. Yeah. But I also don't know how well his style would fit with a Deadpool-ish book.
Yeah, unless it's like Deadpool getting sent to like Cartoon Land or something.
And they could do that for an arc or even just an issue or something. That'd be cool. Yeah. But
yeah, you never know. All right, some DC news. We got a Plastic Man miniseries coming from Gail Simone and Adirana Mello. Adirana, is it Adriana or Adirana?
I think it's Adriana.
Oh, that's a typo. That's definitely a typo. I just committed to that typo. Holy shit. Adriana Mello. That's a lot easier. Wow.
For the record, I made all these names up just to make like
yeah. Holy shit. But I am definitely getting this. Yeah, Gail Simone. Her stuff, I could take it or leave it. I know I'm gonna get hate for this. A lot of her stuff, I don't know. She's done. I mean, what is it? The Secret Six is a really good book by her.
That's one I need to read because everyone.
Yeah, you really need to read Secret Six if you want to get into Gail Simone. Her all new Adam stuff is it's okay. I'm just not the biggest Frank Cho fan. Not Frank Cho, Frank Choi. Ryan Choi. Wow. I completely got the character's name messed up. Ryan Choi is the all new all new Adam. And then what is I can't even think of the original Adams. Oh, Ray Palmer. I'm sorry. Okay, I got them all mixed up. I'm just not a huge fan of Ryan Choi. I really like Ray Palmer, and her writing didn't really help. She likes to talk in people's heads a lot. You know, she has these inner monologues going on all the time. I really don't need to read all that stuff.
Which is why she would be perfect for Harley or Deadpool or, even Domino, which he does have a book coming out from her.
Yeah.
But
I think Plastic Man is going to be great, though, because I want to know what's going on in his head.
Yeah, and I'll check this one out, too. I mean, Plastic Man's always been a cool character.
Yeah. So. I'm just excited we're getting Plastic Man back because we haven't seen him in years. Yeah, so DC announces a new line called Black Label. It's a title for creator-driven stuff. So we're actually we're getting something cool. It's going to be Superman Year One from Frank Miller.
Yeah,
and John Romita Jr. The JRR stuff. That's okay. But Frank Miller writing a Superman book Year One, that's pretty exciting.
So yeah, I love this idea because the line comes from the most recent Sean Murphy book doing White Knight. And then kind of doing an Elseworlds-ish line of books.
That's so cool.
Which is a great idea. And this book in particular, it says Frank Miller. I will buy it. Personally, I was talking to someone about it, and even if you're not a big JRR fan, I feel like he is the perfect guy to kind of tag along with Frank Miller because I think he can really pull off some old school Frank Miller art.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in seeing this team up, especially since Miller is helping out with some of the art. So
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting collaboration there.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Batman: Last Night on Earth, coming from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. I'm definitely picking that up. Definitely picking it up.
I'm a little worried about this book because they've never written a good Batman story, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's other Batman stuff's been trash.
I'm sure it'll be great. I can't wait. I'm glad to see Greg Capullo sticking around.
Yeah,
I was wondering what he was going to be doing after Metal.
Batman Damned from Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo. I may be picking this one out. I'm not too sure. I might wait for the trade to come out.
I'm probably going to wait on this one because Azzarello is a hit or miss for me. I know a lot of people really like him, and but for me it's just hit or miss. So I'd rather wait and see what people think, especially people I know personally that have similar tastes.
For me, it's like I got so many Batman books that I try to limit it to like 2 or 3. Wonder Woman Historia, The Amazons from Kelly Sue DeConnick and Phil Jimenez. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the history of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm glad to see Kelly Sue DeConnick do a comic again.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and I'm sure she'll do a great job with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman Diana's Daughter from Greg Rucka, so he's going back to Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and I'm really torn on this one because Greg Rucka did one of my favorite Wonder Woman runs. Not the most recent one, but the one he did before that. And but the most recent one was good, but it was up and down. So I don't know. I might pick this one up, and it'll probably be a last minute decision for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for comic news, though.
Read any comics recently, Mike?
Yes, I did. Let's see. Let's talk about. I'm just going to do the order they come to in my brain. The Batman, the White Knight. It was a good episode. People try to argue like between Nightwing and Batgirl what to do with Batman, whether they should help him or they should arrest him. It was a pretty cool Batmobile scene where Batman is driving to Joker in the new Batmobile, and Jim Gordon gets the old school one from like the Batman movie, and like races him, and that was pretty cool. And then at the end of that issue, oh man, you know who saw it coming? The Joker's back. He didn't stay sane for long, so I have a feeling it's just going to wrap up as an old. As most Batman stories do, is like, oh man, Joker's inevitably bad, and Batman's got to save the day. But I will say this: it's almost like a deeper meaning to the story that no matter like what universe or they have to play those roles of the villain and the hero. That even though he's like chemically altering his brain, he's going to come back to be the Joker at the end of the day. I almost got a Killing Joke vibe from it when he was like beating the crap out of Batman before he turned into the Joker. Yeah, it was a good issue. The most recent issues for Batman by Tom King have been fantastic. We're still dealing with the whole Ivy is controlling the entire world, and Batman finds out that that she's doing it through the food on Earth, and so he goes to find one of this kid who can't process plant or vegetables and so he like knows that he won't be taken over by Ivy yet, and she kind of stops him from visiting the kid. But it's awesome because Ivy has the whole Justice League under her control. So like in every comic panel, like as Catwoman and Batman are kind of like driving around looking for people, Superman is just following them, and he has to deal basically with the whole Justice League. So like when he gets away from Superman, then the Flash shows up, and then Wally shows up, and Reverse Flash, and they have to like beat all 3 of them. It was a pretty cool issue. And what happens is like he ends up pissing off Ivy, and because she's controlling Superman, she punches him in the face, and Batman like I think she like cracks his skull, so he's like in the hospital now, which is pretty crazy. Because she's controlling all these heroes, but she can't really gauge their powers because she just like throws a punch, it throws a punch. Mm-hmm. But I guess the power transition from her punch versus Superman's punch, yeah, it's a pretty big difference. So
tiny difference.
So Superman knows how to hold back, right? But yeah, so he wakes up in the hospital and Harley Quinn's taking care of him. So without a doubt, I took this book off my pull list, and I will not be reading any more issues. Thank you, Tom King. It was a great run. Yeah. And not only she shows up, but Batman like utters like put in, and I was like, oh man. But anyways, they're making it that she's the really smart Harley Quinn, though, like 4 PhD neurologist that's gonna like fix Batman because he's in the hospital. So that was pretty cool. Oblivion Song by Kirkman. Did you read this book?
Oh, did I read it?
What a book, huh?
I absolutely loved this book.
Really fantastic. It's a Kirkman book. So, the first issue, he reels you in. He knows how to write a story. He knows how to write a cliffhanger. Basically, it seems to me that there's another dimension that they find on Earth. Almost like, or is it's either a city or a dimension. I don't know. What do you think?
It's an alternate dimension. I believe they said it. And it's like alternate to Philadelphia, and it's kind of like a hellish dimension.
Yeah, it's like a hellscape or something.
I really loved it. I thought the art was really good.
Yeah.
I loved how they set up the story, and they kind of really right in with the action and then jump into the backstory as to what's going on. And
he's good.
Honestly, after reading it, as obvious as the ending was, I never saw it coming. I figured that we're going to spoil Oblivion Song here, so I don't know. Fast forward if you don't want to hear it, but I knew his brother was going to come back.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be in that way, and I didn't think it was going to be this early.
Yeah, that kind of like right away.
Yeah. So it was kind of surprising to see him and to be like him basically hunting his brother, not knowing it's him. It was really intriguing. I can't wait to get more of this book. He killed it on the first issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a scientist trying to get funding because there is another universe. All these people seem to have disappeared, and the government thinks it's too risky to keep going back and forth and trying to save what few people they do find. So the whole issue is kind of driven of this scientist his brother's over there, so that's the real reason that he wants to get over there and save him. It was a good book. Redneck number 10. Is number 11 out? I read number 10.
No, number 10 just came out.
Okay, so Redneck number 10. Pretty good issue, huh? You want to talk about this one?
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, actually.
Oh, okay. Basically, they're just Phil's getting interrogated, and the FBI doesn't believe that he knows vampires. So it's kind of sad and funny all at the same time because you kind of find out Phil's origin of why he starts helping them out. It was a good issue. Superman number, was it 42?
Yes, I'm behind on that book too.
Well, this issue is the start of the Bizarro World issue, which, man, Bizarro anything I'll read. This is actually a really cool take on Bizarro. It was really serious. That there's a huge monologue from Bizarro in the beginning. It gets really kind of confusing. Me am not and am, but you kind of get the idea of it. And there's the sons of each of them. So they're on another world, and basically Superman's son kind of sees him at the end, Superman's son visits him he's on a trip to outer space and his parents don't know about it. And he visits Bizarro World, and they're in a force field, and the two sons almost touch, Bizarro and Superman, or Superman's son, and they almost something almost happens, and they get teleported back to Earth. And the end of the book, Bizarro's son shows up on Earth, so something's going to happen. He's going to be stuck on Earth, and I don't know if they're going to just do this interaction where they hang out and he shows them what Earth's all about. So it's pretty cool. I'm interested to see where it goes. I feel like Bizarro is awesome, especially when you take him seriously too. I think it's really cool.
I always enjoy good Bizarro.
Yeah. And I think that's it for me this week.
Did you read Walking Dead number 177?
Yes, I did read Walking Dead number 1. Yep. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I really like this issue. I liked how it started off too with the kind of the mayor of this city's son trying to basically go out and hook up with some girl.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He sent a bodyguard with him, was supposed to keep everything away, all the walkers, and one gets away from the bodyguard. And it was kind of a cool scene because the son's like a spoiled brat, and he's yelling at the bodyguard, and then they kind of zoom out, and they just show this, all the walkers this guy killed, and only one got away.
Yeah, there's 20 of them.
And then there's definitely, I mean, there's some kind of mutiny occurring in this city. So something big is going to happen inside this city that the mayor does not see coming.
Yeah, so that was the end of the issue, right? The cliffhanger is that the soldier grunts aren't happy, and they're talking about revolt, and one of the people in the locker room overhears it, and that's how it ends. Pretty good.
I got Captain America number 699. I really like this issue. I'm sad to see Chris Samney go. The Thing is in this issue, and Hulk.
Oh, man.
And we also get the leader of this kind of neo-Nazi group who has taken over America. And it's interesting because the neo-Nazi group, obviously they're Nazis, so they talk a lot about purity and being like a good specimen and all that. And then you meet the leader, and he's just deformed, disgusting creature.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah. It's good. I enjoy it. I'm sad to see Chris Samney go in the next issue, though. And to be honest with the listeners out there, we're recording this early, so I haven't gotten this week's books yet.
Yeah.
So this is all last week's stuff, but deal with it. Infinity Countdown number 1.
Uh-oh.
What a fucking book.
Wow, here we go. Let's hear it.
So, first of all, there's a pregnant Nova.
What?
Like, why not, I guess? And,
aren't all the Novas guys, or no?
No, there's, you can be man or woman. It's kind of, Novas are just the Green Lantern Corps. That's all they are.
Oh, okay.
And then there's, like, an evil Green Lantern Corps, and, you know, kind of like the Yellow Lantern Corps. And, so they're fighting them, and they're trying to get the Power Stone, which Drax is guarding. And anyone doesn't know, when Secret Wars ended and all of the universes came together and it started this quote-unquote new universe, there are new Infinity Stones to go with it. So they're not gems like they were before. And in this universe, the Power Stone, which is the red one, is like 500 feet tall.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so Drax is guarding it, and these two factions are trying to fight for it. It was a really cool scene of them fighting back and forth. But the real big part is when the Guardians of the Galaxy show up, and they have to fight the Gardener, which is fantastic because the Gardener's lost his shit. And he sends all these creatures after them, and they're fighting them, and they're basically Groot-like creatures. And then finally they get through to him, and they save him. And in that moment, he heals Groot, who has become Little Groot. Because, you know, it has to go with the movies. And when he heals Groot, brings him back, you end up finding out that Groot was actually, like, cemented in this moment in time. And that's why he can only say, I am Groot.
Oh.
So now at the end of this issue, Groot can actually speak.
What?
And it's really fucked up.
Really?
But it was so well done. I can't speak highly enough about this. I've been looking forward to this for so long, and there's been so many like early issues, and you know, issue zeros and primers and all this.
Yeah.
And this definitely delivered. And then it ended with a huge cliffhanger, which is that Black Widow is alive. She did not die during Secret Empire, and she's out there somewhere. So lots of good stuff. Pick up Infinity Countdown.
I'll have to read it. Comixology is having a huge sale right now on Marvel stuff, so I picked up a bunch of good trades. If anybody likes Comixology, you should check it out right now.
Yeah, I recently picked up probably the same ones you did. Vision by Tom King, Avengers by Jeff Johns, and then one that you may or may not have, but I got the complete Mangaverse. Marvel. I've always wanted to read that. It was $1, so I figured, what the heck?
All the trades are like $1. I did pick up Secret Origin or Secret Empire. I picked up that book.
Cool. I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
I feel like I could figure out what's going on. There's a 0 issue, so it's usually I know pretty much of all the characters, so now I just got to read them all.
Oh, I love that 0 issue.
What'd you say?
I love that 0 issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we didn't get to it in the news, but I wanted to throw it out there that old friend of the show, Travis Holyfield, is having a Kickstarter right now for street clothes. So go over to Kickstarter and help him out. And if that doesn't convince you, and this is news even to Mike, I have booked Travis on the show, so he will be on.
All right. Awesome.
Next week. So,
nice.
Yeah, do that.
Do it. Help him out. People. You can also see his new Kickstarter. It's on my Twitter. I just retweeted it. You guys can find me at Fortress Ricker, because Ricker's my last name. There's too many Mikes in the world. Fortress Mike was already taken by some huge gym bro. So it's Fortress, Fortress Ricker, Ricker. You can follow me. I just post some stuff about comics. I post a Darth Vader picture today. But I'm there. That's where you can find me at. Where can they find you, Chris?
They can find me on Twitter at Fortress Chris.
Whoa! It's like we did this together or something. Oh my god!
We should add in that Fortress Mike guy into all of our conversations and just see.
Yeah, see who he is. Just start commenting on stuff.
Dude, do you like comics? You want to be the third chair in this?
Yeah, we don't have room for him. Sorry, he's too big.
So everybody, make sure you follow the show at fortresscomicnews.com and on Twitter at FCN_official. And if you're listening to this on iTunes or any other podcast service, please give us a review over there. It really helps out a ton. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell icon. There's a little bell somewhere down here. Yep. And you'll know whenever I make new videos that you obviously want to watch. And and share with friends and family. And also, if you're so inclined, especially Mike's coworker, to go over to patreon.com and kick us $1 or so. Join the Slack channel and talk some comics with us and all that stuff. So for that, I believe that's everything. I always miss something, but I think that's everything. Yeah. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. 2 more things, actually. Sorry. Quick announcements. Empire State Comic Con is the beginning of next month. Mike and I are going to be there.
Yeah, we'll be there walking around.
Yeah. So you see us, say hi. And Free Comic Book Day is a-coming. And we are going to be at Two Kings Comics in Victor, recording the show, talking to people, giving out tons of comic books.
Tons. And posters. Autographed posters, man.
Yeah.
You can get one of the 50 exclusive, I'll even number it for you with the Sharpie. Exclusive posters. What's better than free? Nothing's better than free. What's better than a free exclusive item that's autographed? Nothing. Come on down and say hi.
Come on down and enter to win some comics, because I got so many I need to give away. And I want you all to win comics. And we're also going to attempt being the key word there, to live stream the event. So I will have some digital comics I'll be giving out through the day. And if the live stream works, we're going to do it that way. If not, pay close attention to my Twitter.
Oh.
Either way, pay close attention to my Twitter, because I'm awesome. But
wow.
Yeah. So that's everything, and we'll see you all next week with our good buddy Travis.
See ya.
Bye.